I begin this speech with a quote, "And once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk the earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you've been, and there you long to return." The first time I decided I was going to look beyond my fears, I climbed into a beaten-up Cessna 280 with a videographer in my face and the chaos of what I was about to experience. This was taking place at Skydiving Sussex in New Jersey. All I could do before I entered that plane was hold my breath. If you've never been skydiving before, it is an emotion like one and all together. Your heart starts racing, your mind goes through all of the things you could be letting go of if anything were to happen to that parachute you're about to trust your life with. Will the parachute open? Will the plane even leave the ground? Will you get back to the soil you once walked barefoot as a child? You run through all of the things the tandem instructor told you before even strapping into the harness. Skydiving is like love. It's like anger, sadness, anxiety, utter happiness. Every feeling of emotion surges through your veins once you leap from that plane and you learn to let go of it all. The moment you feel free fall at 12,500 feet, you truly are free to fall. You can do whatever you want. You can scream, you can squint your eyes closed, you can swim through the air like I did. Others grasp the raging wind pressing against their chest, arms spread wide like they are welcoming the earth. They open their arms wide and thrust their chest out like they could care less whether the parachute opens or not, because in that moment you really could care less if that parachute opens or not. It's an emotion and a feeling I have a hard time explaining. As you increasingly advance towards the earth, the land below, it no longer feels like falling. Although the wind is pulling your skin back, your body is floating, weightless. The butterflies have ceased to exist, dancing in your stomach. The tandem instructor taps you on the shoulder and puts the altimeter in front of your face. At this point, you are at 6,500 feet. And you have the option to pull the parachute cord. If you fail to do so, the tandem instructor will handle it. All 4 times that I went skydiving, I failed to release the parachute. It's like a system overload. My brain could not function. Now, depending on who and how your parachute was packed will determine what kind of opening you will have. If the parachute was poorly packed, your legs will be flung in front of you. You are jerked back to reality as the tandem instructor begins twirling you back to earth. At this moment is when thoughts come back and emotions set in one by one. Some people vomit, others start shouting out to the world for all to hear. I myself took the wild side and spun around until about 400 feet above the ground. The instructor handed me the toggles to steer the parachute, but I was so weak and shooken up I had no strength to do so. As the ground creeps closer, the tandem instructor will ask that you keep your feet near your waist so that they can safely land. Many people are still in overload at this point, and they try to put their feet down with the instructor. This can result in anything from the student being body surfed by the instructor, broken bones, or some other ungraceful landing. I myself was able to function enough to keep my feet up and experienced a graceful landing. Or so far. Once your feet have planted solid into the grass below, adrenaline becomes apparent as the people around you start to invade your space, and all you can do is make simple statements between the rapid breathing. You make it back to earth, but all you can truly think about is the experience that you just had in the sky above. People almost never say that they won't do it again, but if this whole speech and what I have said so far hasn't intrigued you in some way, like we used to say at Skydiving Sussex in Wisconsin, you won't know until you try it.